I'm going to come back in now. This is from yesterday's picture. I think I'm going to do some stuff in here, bringing this up to scratch. So I'm just going to take an ickle brush. I'm going to put this brush here coming in front of that one coming in front, and that one into the background. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some edge bits on, some yellow with this. I'll just do it with this little brush so I can get really precise, because it's a bit of a little fiddly bit. So if I do that there and then come into some of this darker green here, should get a nice soft sort of edge. Oh, that's right, that's what I'm after. And then I can bring that sort of down there a bit, something like that. And then I can come back into a more yellowy green as I come along. Melt it back across. Up into there. Stick a bit of this purplish blue colour in. Tiny bit of a purplish blue colour, what would just muddy it bottom of my palette, to be honest. That don't look bad though, does it, that? Right, let's go again. Come across. Let's come across here like this. Just making it up as I go along, really. Let's have it across there, about like that. Something like that. And then soften it in with some bright yellow in there, so it just touches in places, softens it in. And then I'm thinking, let's soften it back this way with some bright yellow and all. Just squiggle it about a bit, look. Leaving some gaps with the underpainting in there and all. Back to some yellow here. Yellow highlights. So I've got a soft edge there. Some more yellow under here. Leaving a few hard edges and a few soft edges, mixing between the between two. There. That's alright, isn't it? Like that. I'm just going to dab a bit of that purple colour in there, and a little bit just about there, just a hint, a bit of a deep bit into there, so it looks like you're looking into a tree. Right, that'll do me at that. I reckon that looks alright. So now, I'll tell you what I will do. This purplish colour, come across there, that bit there. Don't particularly want that. Take that right there. Right, come back to this spiky brush again now. Right, I'll get some pure yellow again. Back up in these top bits. Nice bit of yellow. I'll do both sides at the same time. Back up into there, look. That's just pure yellow. And you know what? I think I'll do just about everything in that pure yellow, just for now. Like a pure yellow glaze over the whole thing. That's it. Nice. Now then, I'll let that dry a bit now and come into some of these other ones. Right, so tad more white, bit more yellow on my brush. I'm going to mix that yellow with a bit of slightly darker. Come see how dark that is coming to here. That's not bad. I think I'll just cover that whole thing with that colour and then just let that dry. That's not bad at all. Paint on my brush. So this is like slightly darker. Yellow, blue, and a bit of Bon Tombeau or raw sienna, something like that will give a nice creamy sort of green like this. Ain't got to be exactly the same colour as what I'm using here either. Anything what's just a darker green than the one what you've got. Mix a green till you think, oh, I like that, but try not to get them too bright. You don't want this to look like a cartoon. And see how I'm leaving massive gaps in this. That's what you want. That bit there looks a bit odd to me, so I'll pull some of that paint out there and bring it over here. See all them great big gaps? I'm pretty much covering the whole thing but leaving big gaps. Same here. Same here. big gaps. I'll do exactly the same in here. Even trying to leave some of them white bits in there where I can. There. Building that up. There were some little sticky bits there, weren't there? Some bushy bits there. Grassy bits there. Let's have some more grassy bits in here, just building up a few layers. Comes into more of a grass here, doesn't it? Look. Don't forget your hike brush will break and do this as well. I'm just using this because it's what happened to be in my hand. Same with this. Bash the end of your hike brush up and it'll do exactly the same as this. Is an hard bristled spiky brush, but your hike brush will do exactly the same. I've bought loads of different effects, special effects brush for this with the bashed up ends. Look, can you see that? But I bought loads of brushes before I realised you can just do the whole lot with a couple of hike brushes if you want. But since I bought them, might as well use them. And if you got plenty of money and you like buying brushes, treat yourself. Dip your bread. It's looking alright. Right, now what? I wonder if that's dry enough now. Tell you what, let's give it a little blast with thorough dryer. That's it. Then I'll just get a dark paint. Do a bit more. So now, I'm quite dark now. So I'd say let's go in dark right bottom of this, right bottom of here. Something like that. Wherever I go dark up to there is going to be good, because that's going to help. Now what, let's get just this brush because it's handy, not particularly any reason. It's a stiffled spiky brush again. Stiff bristled spiky brush, but you can use out your hike brush to do all this, be perfectly good. I'm just softening a bit of that, because just remember these ones are still quite far back, so it's just softened a bit in there. Now I suppose I could soften that a bit more by mixing a bit of that lighter colour up again and just adding a bit more of that in. Soften it even more. See me paper's even a bit damp now because I've just used that damp brush. Now that, to me, that's starting to look okay. This one looks like it needs softening a bit more. So I'm just sat right back. As I'm painting, I'm sat quite far back. Now, let's get some quite bright yellow again. Soften it with some of that. That's nice. Then I'll do just same on this side. Just adding yellow to soften it. Now, well, I'm happy with that. So that area now, I reckon's done. Right, so let's mix up some. Not quite. Just grabbing me saying a bit of yellow. It's virtually pure yellow. This. I didn't clean my brush, but it's virtually pure yellow. Just come into there. If I dab, these bristles are quite stiff, remember. So if I dab that a bit, it'll take a bit of that from that side and soften this in as well. Make it so it's quite a soft edge. Right, so I'll do for that. Then get a bit darker. For in here and up against there. Something like that. It's a bit darker. Well, that don't look bad at all to me. And then I'm thinking, oh, I don't know. I'm going to put a dark bit right on this bottom, but maybe there's some little light grasses just in front of that, pushing in front of that, perhaps. Yeah. Just going to go really dark with a bit of this I've got like a purplish colour mud in my palette. Just dab a tiny bit of that in, but not much. That's it. Looks quite dark, but don't forget it'll dry lighter. And then a bit more of this green colour just up round in. Some there. That don't look bad, does it? I think that looks sound when it's dried. Right, let's go a bit more on these then, right. So, mix a bit more of that yellowish green up. Whack a bit of that in. I mainly just did that just to dampen my paper slightly. There we are, a bit more of that bright yellow. I'll do all three of these together. This one and all. A bit more bright yellow in there. I've not washed my brush, so it's not quite bright yellow. It's fairly bright, but not quite. It's slightly green, but mostly yellow. This is just to dampen this area up. There, right. Take that a bit darker. A bit darker green. So I'm going into darker green, what I've already got mixed. Let's say it's not much darker, just a bit. It's just softening some of that stuff what's already there. Same again. Bit more. Bit more. That's it. Now I'm going to go even darker. That's a nice dark colour. I think I'll get quite dark right in that bottom bit there, look. That looks nice, doesn't it? Same in here. More towards these bottom bits. That's it. Get this one. Soften it in with some bright yellow, I think. So 2 colour mixes. Just soften that in. That's nice. Just got me yellow right on the corner of that. So I'm like glazing over that, but it is still, it's not totally dry, so it's like it has dried a bit, so it's like glazing over and it's blending a bit as well. So it's like half wet and half glazing. But whatever it's doing, it's looking nice. Pull it over there a bit. Some of that grass, now some down there and all. All that grass is in there. There. It's looking good. Right, I'm going to go even darker. Oh, loads of colour on my brush now. Just some of this down here. To me, looks like I could get away with some even darker. And just some little bits around. Then some yellow again. And just softening again with some more yellow. You can dab about like this till you sit back and think, right, that's nice. A bit more of that yellow. Just blend a bit down this way, I'm thinking as well. Bit down into there, down there. That's it. There's some yellow in here. Something like that. That don't look bad. A bit. A bit of that dark there. There. I think that's looking quite realistic. I'm going to have my light coming in this way actually, so could have some darks more over this side. Some more yellow, smooth it across with that yellow, soften it in. Then I'll have a sit back and have a look in a second. There we are. Oh, that's looking good, I think. Let's have a sit back and have a look. Let me go back across the room and have a look, see what we're looking like. Keep having a walk back across your room and having a look, because it makes a massive difference. Yeah, I think that's looking, if anything, might glaze a bit more yellow back on top of them, might do. Let's see how I go. Right, I'm going to use this same brush for a second, some of that yellow, and add a tiny bit of red, tiny bit of Bontumber, see if I can get like a creamy colour. just a couple of bits. Something like that. There. That's alright. That'll look alright when it's dried, I think. Should pop a bit more. Let's do a bit more of that. Tad more of that red. Tad more of that. I'm just mixing some more of that colour up. And a tiny bit more of that. Just add something like that. That's just to represent a bobbly path. Yeah, nice. Right, now, I suppose now, let's get in on these ones. Right, mix some more yellow colour up. Just mixing and I'm mixing loads up. That should do it good. Loads of paint on my brush there. Right. I think it's still the same thing here. Some of this dark colour in here. In here. Towards this back bit because my sun's coming in that way. Soften it in with this brush. There we are. Oh, okay. That looks well nice. That's the sort of look where I'm after. Well, and them colours can soften in and blend in together with each other. Like that, you see. I can have some bits coming down there, look. There. Looking quite nice, I think. It's up there. Same here. Sticks and things, bits of that, all sorts in here, look, bits of grasses down there, some of this darker colour, there, soften that across. Soften it all into these other colours. Get up there. There's some stuff out of this side. Yeah, a bit of that in there and all. Soften it in. See how it's just building up and building up as I'm going along. Right, I'm thinking now. Let's have a bit of a sort of medium green colour. Let's have a look. Oh, that looks alright. A bit of medium green colour in there. That's it. That looks quite nice. A bit of that in there and all. That's a sort of medium green colour. Getting some grassy effects, look. That's looking pretty good. Bit more of this yellow, just to soften a bit more. That's it. Right, you know what? Let's say dry. So I could start doing actually. Let's do a bit of this I could start building up some of these reflections in here. Something like that. Bit there. Bit there. That's it. Build some of them up. Some of these darker colours in there. There we are. I'll soften all this in a bit. So I'm just reflecting there over here. Right, there's this bluey grey colour here, isn't there? So I bit of, there's like, let's have a look. That, well, that's that one, that's that one. So then there's these behind. You won't get all of them because they're further back, so you might just get the top bits of them showing. So that'd be something like, you might just get them top bits showing about there like that. That one a little bit there. That one behind maybe is a little bit, but not much. You won't get much. Something like that, say something like that. And then this darker green. More water, darker green to colour that in. Into there. And same in there. Same in there. And then this sort of quite dark bluey green up here. Let's try a bit of that. That's a nice colour. Bit of that in there. Right, what I'm going to have to do in a minute, bash end of this brush up. It's a spiky brush anyway. I'm going to bash end up and do it on this bit of old paper here. There, that's it. Into there like that. Oh, wow. Perfect. Into there. That just gives me that spiky look, look. Spiky look, look. Some of them grasses there, look. And bits there. Right into that corner there. Like that. Don't go against some of them with that spiky look. Spiky look, look. Right, into there. Nice. And then I think a bit of a dark bit sort of across here. That bit there's usually quite dark, isn't it? So I'll lay a dark bit in there. Let's say a really dark bit in there. Yeah, that's nice. Oh, a few bits coming across. And I'll smooth. I think what I might do is let that dry and then try and smooth it across a bit after it's dried. So let's. Is this dried any? I'll put a bit more in here. It's going to bring it a bit closer. That's not looking bad. And then I think I'll have a bit more of that same colour in some of these and all. Bringing them in a bit closer. I'll tell you what I could do. I could add some bits of reds and stuff into some of this. That'll bring it closer. So what that? So let's get some of that bright red. There, a bit of bright red in there. That'll pull it closer. And then I'll stick some blue in just to twangle the two together. But that'll help bring some of this, make it feel a bit closer with these red bits. Right, let's get some blue. I haven't washed my brush, so this blue will be a sort of purpley blue. What'll be good, because it's make it a bit warmer than that background blue. So that'll be good, it'll work. There, like that, look. Oh, that's nice. Oh, wow. Some bits in here, look. That's looking nice. You know how these countries arm themselves with nuclear weapons? This is another little thought what's just going through my head, or just wondering about. Where do they get them from? Do you reckon there's like a little shop or something? Just something like I thought, where are they getting them from? I'm saying. I'm just mixing and blending here, look. Just made me wonder, where is they getting them from? There. Looking now, sitting back and looking again. And I'm wondering if I'm going to a place now where I ought to stop altogether and sit back and just look for a couple of hours and then plan everything and then pull it all together on my final video. And I think that's not a bad idea to do that. So I'll do that then. See you on beach. Yeah.